Using a generic one-size-fits-all automation tool to run a managed service provider is kind of like trying to unlock your iPhone with Face ID while wearing a Mandalorian helmet. It's not that the tech is bad, it's just that it fundamentally doesn't understand the world in which you're operating. The truth is those platforms, they weren't built for you. They weren't designed for the reality of dozens of clients, hundreds and hundreds of SLAs, and thousands of daily fires. And so today we're talking about why that's not just an inconvenience, it's actually a threat to your entire business model. You see, most platforms are single-tenant, which is just a polite way of saying that they force you to live in the IT version of Groundhog Day. For example, every time you build a really good automation for, let's say, client A, you have to then wake up and do the exact same for client B, and then client C, and then client D, and then client E, and you get the point. And that just kind of takes it from scaling to just getting really, really, really good at repeating the same thing over and over again and just living your life in this strange sort of copy and paste and copy and paste and edit and copy and edit and paste and copy. And, you know, do you get me? It's, I guess, slightly soul crushing. Yeah. And then you look at the pricing model, and you have to think sometimes that the people that designed the pricing models for some of these automation platforms, they can't have, well, it's not that they just didn't like them, it's that I think they had an active dislike for MSPs. See, that they hook you with these metered costs that almost punish you for being successful. Like in some cases, it's not so far as to say that it almost, you're being charged for every time the bot even blinks. Like imagine renting a car and they tell you it will cost X amount of money, but then they tell you that there'll be an additional charge for every single mile that you drive in that car. But when you ask the car rental agency, well, how much is it going to be per mile? They just respond by saying, we don't know, but we'll let you know when you start driving. Like, where does that leave you? Like, how do you know how much money you're expected to be paying for what it is you need? Do you decide to rent the car and just hope that it's not going to be a ridiculous amount of money? Or do you want something that you are already aware of before you even get into it? I think the answer is pretty obvious. I feel like it genuinely seems like it's a business model designed to penalize efficiency, right? And that doesn't make sense. And then finally, when an auditor comes knocking, trying to get proof that a change was approved and executed correctly from a generic tool is, well, a nightmare. It turns into this like digital scavenger hunt where the instructions are sort of scattered across multiple different apps and just, ooh. And then like one of them is written in, I don't know, Spanish, the other one's written in some other language, and then one of them's just written in matrix symbols that just, oh no. It's essentially automation without a seatbelt, driving down a hill, blindfolded, while also on fire. And it doesn't seem safe. But now, for a second, imagine a platform that was actually built for you and the way that you work, but like the way you actually work. So instead of it being like Groundhog Day, like I mentioned before, it would be multi-tenanted, but it would be multi-tenanted from the very core of it. It would, for example, let you design one genius automation, like a master blueprint, if you will, and then securely let you deploy it across all of your clients with essentially zero re-engineering. Like imagine it's the build once and save everybody model that essentially would let you scale your services instead of your workload. And then instead of a pricing model that punishes you, it would just be simple, predictable, and a pay per flow model. You'd pay for the unique workflow blueprint and then run it as many times as you want. Like, yeah. I'm talking an unlimited amount of being able to run it. Unlimited. You just pay for the thing, and then you run it as many times as you want for however many people. You know what I'm saying? And then finally, instead of scavenger hunting for proof, it would be, well, governance first. So every single flow that you run would be automatically generating an immutable evidence bundle. Every proposal, every timestamp, every log would all be neatly packaged and ready for the most demanding client or auditor. Like, think of it like an automation that comes with its own lawyer, so to speak, to an extent. You know what I mean. I personally think the difference is simple. You've got generic tools which can automate a step, but then you have an MSP-native platform that can essentially automate the entire outcome securely, efficiently, and profitably across your entire client base. So stop trying to force your multi-client business into a single client box. I think it's time for a platform that was actually built for you from day one.